Hey there, everyone. Welcome to Speak Now Pro Wrestling. It's a girl, Denise Salcedo. It's another Wednesday night, and I'm joined by Righteous Reg. And we got AEW Dynamite to talk about. We are about 2 weeks out from a Dynasty. Reg, how are you?
Your favorite rapper, your favorite writer, your favorite podcaster, Righteous Reg Media Man. I'm doing well. I had fun talking about Gerard Butler on the show. Things got weird towards the end of there. But yeah, I think after we have a hangover from last week, Denise, it was such an action-packed, felt like a pay-per-view style Dynamite last week, and this one didn't feel as crazy as that. So it was interesting.
So here's my issue with your little comments right now, Reg, about Gerard Butler.
Why?
Every week, how long have you and I been doing this podcast together?
It's been a while now. We're coming
It's
up on
been a
2
while,
years,
right?
probably. Yeah.
It's been over a year. We
Mhm.
didn't even celebrate. What's wrong with us? Anyways,
Wow.
but it's been over a year. And every single week, Reg comes on here and he's in love with Mother Wayne. He's in
Thurston.
love with Lola Vice. He's in love with Megan Bayne. He's in love with every single woman.
Thurston.
1 week, I get my opportunity to talk about who I think is fine. And I got to have it thrown in my face.
Because you took it to another level. I'm just sitting here like, yes. We watched your search. We watched you search for it.
I was just trying to prove my point.
To whom? You didn't prove it to anybody.
Oh,
Nobody was on your
definitely
side.
proved it. I'm pretty sure there were a couple of people on my side. There's probably some people in the chat that were like, I got to go Google Gerard Butler's suit.
Nope. Absolutely not.
Well, then you know what? Good. More for me. All right. I will have them all to myself.
Yes.
Anyways, but we got to get into AEW Dynamite. And this is an interesting show because I feel like we can kind of touch on, we can pretty much start anywhere, but I think where I want to start is what I would consider probably the hottest part of the show. And that was that back and forth between Swerve Strickland and Jon Moxley. I think that felt like the most main event part of AEW here today. Like, that's the story where we're going, okay, what are we going to get out of this? Because, Reg, right now we are in a world where Jon Moxley and the Death Rider storyline has not really been moving any needles, right? Oh, shit. I didn't mean to use the word needles in this situation, but
there you go.
Anyways, with that being said, though, Swerve Strickland's feuds have definitely been moving some needles in the sense that people are interested. So I have been going into this going, all right, Swerve Strickland, Jon Moxley, this could be something. This could be the feud that gets Jon Moxley back out there, like Jon Moxley as a fan favorite once again on AEW. And with this back and forth, I thought both of them really brought it. They're both such different types of promos too. I feel like Jon still gets a little bit more poetic.
Yeah.
Versus Swerve is a little bit more direct in your face kind of material. And basically, Swerve tells Jon, hey, Jon, like, you don't show that championship belt. You don't take it out of the briefcase because you don't even like the way that you see yourself with it. Basically saying that Jon Moxley doesn't see himself as a champion and even he knows it. And Jon basically told Swerve that, I don't even know what he told Swerve. He said a bunch of things. Like, that's what I mean by sometimes Moxley's promos aren't that easy to necessarily follow. But with that being said, Swerve and Jon, they all bring out their guys, their gals. Willow and Marina were also out there, so I got to throw in gals. And what I did like about this, Reg, is that this wasn't a situation where usually we've been seeing the Death Riders attack everybody. This time, Swerve knew and expected what Jon Moxley's move might be, and he was prepared for that by having his crew, also hit some of his friends now, out there as well.
Yeah, I like this a lot. I think I like Jon Moxley's part in this. I think you probably zoned out because you don't know what he's saying. I don't know where you went when Jon Moxley started talking, but essentially it was like Swerve being like, you're not even like honored to be AEW World Champion. Like, if you were, you would be carrying that championship. You can't even look yourself in the mirror with the belt on your shoulder. Like, you're projecting, you're hiding something different than what you're giving out here when you talk on these promos. And Moxley's promo was just like, yes, everything you're saying, yes. I want you to feel like you're better than me. I want you to feel like you could beat me. I want you to feel like I want you to come and take this. Like this, when I watch the business, Moxley saying, when I watch the business, you are one of the guys that I think should lead this way. I want to see this fire. I want all this for you, but I'm not just going to give it to you. I'm not just going to give it because you say that you deserve it and you earned it and you think you should be world champion. You're going to have to come, and you've seen what people are trying to do to take it from me. You're going to have to go that extreme or even more extreme in order to take the championship from me.
Here's the thing though, Reg. Swerve has been champion. He does know what it's like to have all of these targets on his back. He was in a massive main event at All In against Bryan Danielson.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that Jon Moxley's promo, while I do agree with you, there was some good points there. It's not for somebody that has already been champion. Excuse me. Like
Okay, I can
Swerve
hear you.
knows what it's like to be champion. The one
Mm-hmm.
thing that I do like, and thank you for reminding me of this, was when Jon Moxley got a little triggered or like a little bit kind of like, ugh, you really think you're the most dangerous man in
Mm-hmm.
AEW? And here's the thing, both guys have some pretty good cases. I mean, after what we saw last week with Jon Moxley and the needles thing, I mean, how could you not say that Jon Moxley could also be one of the most dangerous guys? However, I think the way that you say it is the meaning of the most dangerous man, because when you think the most dangerous man in AEW,
Mm-hmm.
what is your definition of that? Is it the guy that is like, for example, Darby Allin, who's willing to do all these crazy things and put his body on the line,
Very
in
dangerous.
the fearless kind of dangerous? Or
Mm-hmm.
is it dangerous where I'm going to come and I'm going to hurt you and I'm going to cross the line and do what I need to do to defeat you? Because I think that's more of what Swerve's representation of most dangerous man in AEW means.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess there could be a couple of different versions of like who's the most dangerous. Because like Moxley, I'm sure like when we were watching that match with Hangman and Swerve, and they did the needle spots, and they're doing all these crazy out of the box spots. Moxley's in the back, like, wait a second, like I want to be in this too. Like I'm down with that crazy wild shit. We've seen him do the Nick Gage stuff. We've seen him do a bunch of barbed wire stuff. We just saw him do the nail spot. So it's like they are kind of competing to be the most dangerous. But like I kind of feel like how you feeling too, Denise. What kind of danger are we talking? Because it's like if the Death Rider, if Moxley's after you, that means the Death Riders are after you. There's that kind of danger. But if you're in a match with Swerve, he might put a syringe through your cheek or like try to hit you in the head with a cinder block. So it's like, what kind of danger are you talking about? What kind are we encompassing? But I do like that it feels main event. It does feel like this time, I think with how Swerve has been in the last couple months, in the last week, he's in the news with this Vlad interview. He's in the news with all these different things. There's this kind of bubbling thing in AEW's fan base of like, we want Swerve to win. Like, we feel like this time, the time is now. It's perfect timing. We're what we're going to lead to into the summer. So they feel like Swerve should be the guy. But again, Moxley, when he says this in the promo, it's real. He's not going to let you just take it. He doesn't care about, I do like how I acknowledge that in the promo of kind of like, I don't care what the people say. I don't care what you think management should feel or how they should feel. It's my time. I'm going to continue doing my thing.
What about the part where he said that Swerve Strickland hasn't suffered enough?
See
That
that?
part I also
Yeah.
called out because I'm
That's some
like, all
cap.
right, the man got his house set on fire.
If this isn't enough suffering, Denise, I don't know what suffering is, dog. I bought a house and y'all set it on fire. This fool Hangman's been trying to kill me. He trying to see like it's been a lot of
He got a
suffering.
syringe in the mouth.
Well, what more do you need? I guess it kind of plays into the adversity. You got to go through more in order to, because I've been through so much. But Swerve has been through a lot on TV. We've seen it.
Oh, not the adversity topic.
I hate it.
That makes me feel like the conversation that everyone was having after WrestleMania 39 when people were like, Cody needs to go through a lot more.
Right.
Cody needs to have some adversity. Cody this, Cody that. That's what that makes me feel like. Every time I hear it in wrestling, it makes me think of that.
it's like there's different levels, as we could talk about like the dangerous thing. There's different levels of adversity. Like I feel like Cody had enough adversity. Like what kind of adversity are we talking? Because he had already been through the ringer. He had always been through these things. That's exactly what it feels like with Swerve. What kind of adversity are you talking here, Moxley? Because Swerve has been in all the situations, just as Denise described. He's been in a gigantic main event against Bryan Danielson and All In. Like he's felt the pressure. He's felt all the things, big pressure. Shout out to that. But he's been in those situations. But it's just probably Moxley trying to play mind games. Like, are you really prepared for this? And Swerve is like, yeah, I've done it and I'll do it again.
Right. So anyways, I mean, this is definitely, I think, a far more interesting story already
Yes.
with what we're seeing. So this could be the turning point for Jon Moxley. I wouldn't be surprised if Jon Moxley wanted to work with Swerve Strickland because of the stuff that Swerve Strickland has been doing, the violence and stuff. Like you said,
Right.
I think Jon Moxley saw that, started foaming at the mouth and was like, I need to get my hands on freaking Swerve Strickland. I want to roll with this guy because he's going to be willing to do these crazy things. So now here's the thing. If you have Jon Moxley and you have Swerve in this matchup, part of me kind of wants to see that, darker violence kind
Should
of
be violent.
AEW match, right? Because you either get two sides of the coin, right? You either get the pretty pink house, which is the really good wrestling, or you get the black house, which is the violence. And I'm talking about the Malibu, those two houses. You've seen that meme, right? With the two houses.
I don't know what you're talking
Reg. It's everywhere.
about.
The pink and black house that's right next to each other on
My
Malibu
heart.
PCH. Okay, whatever. So there's a pink house and there's a black house, whatever. You could break up certain matches in AEW and put them in the pink house and put them in the black house. And that's how I see this. Like the more violent you go into the dark house, that's where you're going. And the more like this is a wrestling match, you go into the pink house.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of different things with that because coming off of what Moxley just did with the nails thing, are people going to be like, they're going to some violent shit again? Because if these two guys are collaborating on violent things, Denise, it's going to be insane because they've already did so many insane things. But I do agree with you. I think that, especially with what the story's going and how they talk to each other, and it's for the AEW World Championship, and we're fighting for supremacy over this company. Like they're gonna have to both show that they'll go to hell and back to do it. And I think weapons and violence and all this bloody shit is the way to do it.
You've seen this, right? This is the one I'm talking about.
I don't know what this is. That's the Full House on the right, and then a Modern House on the left.
No, these are the two houses.
Whatever happened to predictability?
They're in Santa Monica. That's where they're at.
Man, a paperboy. Evening TV.
Bro, that house is in San Francisco. They're totally different houses.
Oh man, so good. So it's supposed to be like contrast. It could be this, it could be this.
Yes, that's the big contrast. That's what I'm saying. That's the point I was trying to make. That went nowhere. All right, we got Terrence Matthew here who says, "Wait, am I on this one here?" I think so. All right, we got Terrence Matthew here who says, watch Paige go back to WWE, and then they won't even mention that she's a former AEW Women's World Champion. Ain't no way they're mentioning that, Terrence.
At all, not 0%. They're going to be like, this is her first time back in a ring in how many years at this point, probably.
PLG here says, Cali Connection, what is good? Thank you so much, PLG, and thank you, Terrence, of course. We're feeling good. Vibing. It's a good time.
It's good times.
This month has just flown by, to be honest.
So fast. It's been this year already, honestly. Denise, we're like 3 months by. It's just like, I'm like, okay, life.
Yeah, you're 1 year older.
Why we gotta, I don't know why we gotta go there. When's your birthday? What are you gonna do?
Never.
That's coming up, ain't it?
Forever. No.
When is it?
I'm not gonna tell you. Anyway, Sheldon Jackson here says it's been fun to see Joey Janela's current girlfriend and ex-girlfriend teaming together on TV.
We're back to this bit. Denise would never in a million years, like she wouldn't become a tag team. She would not do this. And they're having a good time. They look like they're working together flawless. I just don't understand. Like you guys have something in common. Like you guys could talk about the great.
I don't want to talk about that.
Okay, that's fair.
No, absolutely not. Thank you, Sheldon. We got Anthony Giuliano here. Says, to put my 2 cents in on skinny and thick people, you have a perfect body, Denise. Thank you, Anthony.
Thank you. She doesn't need to be doing this WrestleMania diet.
I am still on my WrestleMania diet, okay?
WrestleMania.
Rafael Garcia, and then it's my birthday diet. WrestleMania diet, birthday diet.
I knew it was coming up. Trying to trick me.
Summer diet, and then after the summer diet, it's the lose some more weight before the holidays so that you can splurge during the holidays and then start again from the beginning at the top of the year.
This is too much.
All right, Rafael Garcia says, I need Swerve to win. We were so close and then came rated DAD and they ruined everything. I don't think he loses before the other three. Hope I'm wrong. I've been saying this since the beginning. I don't want to be negative Nancy, but I don't think Swerve is defeating Jon Moxley. I think he should, but I don't think he is. Two different things, Reg.
I think he can. Will he?
I think he should.
I think it like
just said, Reg.
The probability, like it's not like 0% chance that he's gonna win. I think it's like a 36%. Like it's not high, but it's there, you know.
36. That's the number you chose.
Like a 36% chance that he'll win. But like
usually people say 30 or 40, not fucking 36.
36 specifically.
Or 35 30, even.
No. 36 specifically.
Is that how old you are, Reg? No, you're a little older, right?
Yes.
Reg is not 36, guys.
I'm almost 40. That's crazy.
Are you gonna cry when you turn 40?
I'm gonna be so happy. I can't wait to be 40.
Oh, all right, cool, cool. All right. I might cry when I turn 40. I'll be like, oh no, not another decade. In the sense of like, I want to stay young forever.
Why?
All right.
Being young sucks.
Reg, get out of here.
Being young, being old is where it's at. That's when it's lit.
Get out of here.
Nobody respects you when you're young.
That's true. We got Sleaze Boy, yeah, but then like all my body parts are where they need to be. So that's
I mean, that's a fact. You could drink all night, you wake up, drink some more. I can't do that with this old.
Watch when you're never mind.
Leave me alone.
All right, thank you, Raphael. We got Sleaze Boy here who says NXT should use part of their show to have the audience vote on a wrestler's gimmick and name. It will be like American Idol meets Frasier.
Frasier.
Hold on, American Idol meets Frasier. Oh, because Frasier would answer the phones in his radio show. Okay, I see what Sleaze Boy was trying to say. See, like my mind went straight to like every time I think of wrestling and voting, I think of Taboo Tuesday.
Yes, every single time. It never fails. And I'm still so shocked and surprised that it's not a yearly bit with how phones and everything. How is there not a vote on this audience show? It does not make sense to me.
Right. I feel you. Thank you, Sleaze Boy.
Frasier still be one of the worst shows of all time, too. I just
get out of here, Reg. That's my favorite like TV show besides I Love Lucy.
Stinks. How old are you? You like two grandma shows. Frasier is terrible.
I'm actually rewatching I Love Lucy right now. And you didn't even watch Frasier. You watched like 30 seconds of it.
Frasier, terrible.
Have you even seen more than one episode?
No.
Then you can't talk about a show being bad if you haven't seen more than one episode.
Niles, the dog, terrible.
The dog?
The dog's terrible.
Richard Hater. All right, we got Heidi Ho here who says Swerve made Moxley feel like a big deal for the first time in a while for me.
That's the vibes that I got from it. Like it didn't feel like we're going through the motions. It felt like this feels real. This feels like a main event. This feels like it could be something.
We got Luis R here who says, love you, Denise and Reg, AEW for life. Thank you so much, Luis, for the support. Really appreciate that. Thank you, Heidi Ho. We got Ted Russo who says Swerve is more Mox than he is. Mox is the shell.
I like that. That we didn't talk about the last line that he hit that 3-pointer with, Denise.
Yeah, I posted the video of that callback of Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose in WWE using that line on John Cena of him basically playing John Cena on TV. And that's the same line that Swerve today used on Jon Moxley. So a call back to that whole thing. So very, very trendy, very on point to use that right now.
I liked it. It really hit hard. Really was a way to put the stamp on that of like, I'm doing this and you're just doing this. First of all, like Ten Ruza here is saying, when Swerve is like, I'm more of the guy that you think you are than you are, and this is it. Like, just a really great way to finish it.
I feel you. Thank you so much, Ten Ruza. And John Taylor with an incredibly, very generous super chat. Wow. John, you have no idea how much this helps, especially
John Taylor.
Thank you so much.
My God, came through with the home run at the end. Jeez Louise, what a guy.
John Taylor says, just want to say hey to the Cali Connection and happy birthday to the DW Zone. Sarah, whose birthday is
Sarah.
today, says, I've worked 5 straight 12-hour shifts, so I'll catch up with Dynamite and all the wrestling going on in a few days. John Taylor, do what you need to do. But no, seriously, sending some love over to Sarah. I know we were talking about this yesterday, and she said she was going to have a chill birthday today. So, Sarah, I hope you're having the best birthday. Get that birthday cake, make
Let's
a
go.
wish, all of it. Enjoy yourself because I love celebrating birthdays in a big, big fashion.
What's your birthday cake, Denise? Everybody clowns me for mine because I have old man birthday cake.
Oh my gosh, is your like vanilla?
It's carrot.
Oh my gosh, you're just like Will. Remember when we went to Will's
Oh,
birthday
that's
party and we had carrot
right.
cake?
Yeah, I love cake. That's my birthday cake every year is carrot cake.
I switch up the flavors. I like
Oh,
all
do
of
you?
them.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't care. I
A
will
lot of
eat.
people just kind of have the same, like, I want this every year. I'm in that thing, but I respect you know, changing it up every time.
Not me. Sometimes I'm chocolate cake, vanilla, red velvet,
Whatever your mood is.
funfetti. Oh, great. Now I'm hungry. Carrot cake.
Funfetti.
That's why when Will had carrot cake at his birthday, I was like, ooh, carrot
Yeah,
cake.
carrot cake, big smacker, very delicious. Happy birthday to Sarah. I appreciate low key birthdays. I had a low key birthday. Happy birthday to my friend Richard Kuhn. It's coming up this week. He's been on he's submitted a super chat before. His birthday's also coming up. And thank you to John Taylor. You don't even know, dude. Unreal, unbelievable.
And I was gonna say one thing. I like how you said you were having a low-key birthday. Bro, you've been celebrating the whole month. Get
I've
out
been
of here.
I've been outside, Denise. I've just been on the actual day, but everything else I've just been like, I'm gonna go over here, I'm gonna go over here, I'm gonna go over here.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I had a low-key birthday. What the fuck, Red? Just talking about low-key birthday. You've been celebrating.
I've been outside, baby. Happy birthday. You gotta celebrate those birthdays, Denise. Come on. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's my favorite day of the year is my birthday. And I think everyone's favorite day of the year should be their birthday.
It should be.
It should be. It's the day you get to spoil yourself and no one can judge you.
Come on. It's the best day. Nobody can say shit to you. Get to do all the things that you want. Always have a delicious meal. You got to have a delicious meal on your birthday that you wouldn't have on any other day. It's the best day.
Yeah, exactly. John, thank you so much, man. Thank you.
John.
We got Papa Bangles here who says, just FYI, taking my 11-year-old grandson to Collision this Saturday, got
Let's
third row
go.
floor tickets. Advice. Thanks, Kelly Connection. Always makes me laugh. Papa Bangles, thank you so much for the super chat. That was very, very nice of you. And I think it's really cool that you're taking your 11-year-old grandson to Collision. I imagine this might be his first wrestling show or one of his first wrestling shows. Honestly, advice, have a great freaking time. Like, especially you got really, really good seats. So
that's what I was gonna bring up. That's probably the most important part, Papa Bengals, because like, especially being that age, there's a thing about if you've never been to a wrestling show, after like the third or fourth row on the floor, it's hard to see. There's a bunch of people, there's all this going on. So like you want to get in that space, and then so to have an 11-year-old that's going to be third floor and they announced some sick stuff for Collision, going to have such an amazing time. Just go out there, have fun. The wrestling will dictate the pace. The people will get you involved. Kids, people always have like a great time kind of involving them. Just have a good time, honestly.
And get some good snacks. Yeah.
Sour Patch Kids.
Yeah. Sour Patch Kids, nachos, you name it. Papa Bengals, thank you so much. We got Jeroy J, excuse me, who says, for Eddie. Aww,
Eddie. Shout out to
love
Eddie.
that. Thank you so much. We got Corey MacArthur here who says, my birthday cake is red velvet. Happy birthday, Sarah. You better still be outside celebrating your birthday day. Reg, celebrate all month.
Yeah, I'm going to keep it real with you, Corey. I still don't really understand the red velvet thing because isn't it just chocolate cake that's red?
No, it's got like a different taste, Reg.
It does not. It's just chocolate cake that's food colored, isn't it?
It has a different taste.
Well, because they put different icing on it, but the cake.
It's the same different cake.
No, it's not. It's
yes,
chocolate cake with red.
Maybe
it's
your
red
taste
chocolate
buds
cake.
don't work.
You guys chime in. Corey, let me know. Is it the same as chocolate cake?
No, it's not. They're so different. They're so different.
I think you're making this up.
There's no way that they're the same cake, right?
It's just red chocolate cake.
No, it's not.
I'm telling you.
I don't know.
What flavor is
it? Get this red velvet cake from?
What flavor is it?
It's red velvet.
Like what flavor is that though?
It's red velvet.
That's not a flavor. That's just
It is a
two
flavor. You're
things put
tasting
together.
it right then and there. That flavor that you're tasting is red velvet.
I think that's just the look. Don't have a taste.
Everyone here is like, it doesn't taste like chocolate. It has a whole different flavor.
I don't
It's
know.
a different taste. It totally does taste different. Reg, we need to talk, man. I don't know where
Red
you're
velvet.
your red velvet cake from. We got PLG here who says Reg won Stephanie McCare cake for his birthday.
I'm saying that would be the happiest birthday. Thank you, PLG. I mean, woo.
And yet I can't say Gerard Butler's hot. All right, we got Uriel and Daros who says, Denise, Reg is right. Get out of here, Uriel. You're wrong. You're so wrong. Where are you guys getting this cake at?
I'm telling you.
I'm heartbroken for you guys.
Listen,
right.
I just Googled it. Red velvet cake is a soft, moist, and velvety textured vanilla cake with mild chocolate taste and ting tang. They just put shit in it.
Mild. Did you not see the words mild in there?
They put them together to make one cake that's the same. It's not a red velvet's not a flavor. It's just a aesthetic.
And Ruth says that I would try to tell Shayna Wayne it's your birthday, Reg.
I thought Shayna Wayne had a wedding ring on the show today, but you know, you could just like I wear a ring on my ring finger and I'm not married.
Corey MacArthur says it's red velvet, hands down, not chocolate.
Okay, maybe I talked out of line. I don't know.
You did. You're out of line. All right, let's keep it moving. Let's get into some other topics on today's show. I'm actually going to rewind and go from the beginning to the end. So let's get through it. Here we go. Kenny Omega defended it was non-title, excuse me. Kenny Omega versus Blake Christian in a very, very fast sprint of a match. Nothing bad. Blake Christian looked good, but it was I think I was expecting a few more minutes, but hey, he went and he got it done. Kenny Omega cut a promo afterwards, had a confrontation with Ricochet and Speedball Mike Bailey, to which we learned that Ricochet wasn't there because he's getting married. And then Speedball Mike Bailey, that was the first time I ever heard him cut a promo. So for congratulations. I was just watching him speak for the first time, like a promo wise. Not I've interviewed him. So
yeah. I was gonna say because I think I might have been thinking of that too because I've also interviewed him. But yeah, first Speedball.
You've never seen a Speedball.
I've seen him be like, "Hey, I'm gonna beat this guy on Thursday." I've seen that before, but not like a real in ring with the mic. So
see, and you were acting like I was a fucking noob.
Because I was like, I've seen him talk before, but he was talking to me, so it's great. Shout out to Speedball Mike Bailey. Yeah, it was just like a nice little beginning sprint of a match. I thought with all the talk this weekend of people being upset about Blake Christian getting the match, I'm like maybe that's gonna give him reason to like go for it and have like one of those back and forth banging match. But no, Kenny Omega started dragging him pretty fast. He beat his ass, finished him with a sick V trigger, one-winged angel. It's all over. I thought that the little promo at the end was pretty good. Like I said in the post show, Ricochet was looking like a certain very not popular, awful human being in a lot of this. I don't know if it's on purpose, but it's working for me because I fucking hate his guts. So there's that. But I think that he's that heat is working for him, and it's gonna bring a lot to this match specifically and this feud. So I thought it was pretty good.
We got Heidi Ho here who says red velvet contains buttermilk and vinegar. Chocolate cake doesn't. See, okay. Reg, you triggered a lot of people with this comment. Like, we're all gonna go home and red velvet. We gotta do a taste test now.
Shout out to Red Velvet too, the wrestler.
Thank you, Heidi Ho. All right, with that being said, next up we got a Chris Jericho segment backstage. He basically insinuates that I think we're going to be getting a Bandito like mask versus title match in Dynasty. Did he make? Yeah, he made the official challenge. My bad. Jericho made the official challenge, so it might be happening at Dynasty.
Which is pretty interesting. I mean, people have been wanting to get the belt off Jericho for a while, and I said on the show, this is doing it because if you get that mask off of Bandito, we're gonna have to fight about this. It's a bad idea, but yeah, this was an interesting bit because of what it led to later in the night. Denise, Chris Jericho again went into one of his rants about how BK and Big Bill need to get their act together. He's shown them all these ropes and all these thugs, all these things to move forward, and they haven't showed him anything, and they need to prove themselves. And Denise,
they got roasted, bro.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so let's talk about that. Brian Keith and Big Bill had a promo war that was very one-sided with MVP. Like, it was pretty much MVP. Like, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, they didn't need to say anything. They were just standing there looking pretty. And MVP wiped the floor with Bryan Keith and Big Bill to the point where Big Bill was stumbling his words. He was like, I former tag team champion. Oh, I don't even know what he was saying at this point. But MVP like called them bitches. He called Big Bill, no, sorry, called Bryan Keith Big Bill's little girlfriend. I mean, I'm not even covering all of it. There were so many shots that MVP just kept firing. They didn't have a moment to look up and sink it all in. Like, he kind of sabotaged them there. Like, they're cooked in my eyes, at least for right now.
Yeah, it's funny because we were just this weekend. There was a lot of debate online on a SmackDown segment with Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton, where they think that Charlotte Flair was off script and responding back, and Tiffany Stratton didn't know how to fight back. This felt exactly like that.
I don't think Charlotte was off script. I just think that Charlotte is more experienced, as we all know, in promos, and Tiffany just was not. She was just not prepared for that, I think.
But the only thing is, like, if you know what's coming, you would be prepared for it. That's the only thing where I'm like, maybe Charlotte was off script, but I hear what you're saying, though. It's just like discrepancy. They just kind of threw her into the fire. She wasn't ready. But that's what it felt like here, because, like, Big Bill and BK come out to confront them, and Bryan Keith gets his whole thing off, and MVP doesn't say anything. Like, he doesn't respond back to Bryan Keith. And then as soon as Big Bill starts talking, he's like, "Oh, don't let your girlfriend talk," or whatever. Like, right after Bryan Keith is done. And then every time Big Bill says something, MVP has immediate rebuttal to it. Like, he's already, before Big Bill could even finish, MVP's already like, "I got you," like, just tearing him down. And so I was like, what was the point of this? But like, we're supposed to want Big Bill and BK to beat these guys or have some kind of fight in this.
No more.
I don't understand why they would try to establish contenders and then immediately not bury them, but immediately cut them off. Like, it felt weird. I don't know if I kept saying during the thing, cut MVP's mic off, because like, we already know, you don't need to talk here. We need to get these guys over. We need to get these guys established. We need to let these guys make the moves already. You already did the thing with MJF. I just didn't understand why he was cutting them down, but maybe that was a part of it.
I'm sorry, and maybe I'm gonna be a heel right now, but I thought that shit was hilarious. I kind of loved it. I'm like, sorry, I know that they kind of got roasted out there, but damn, MVP was pretty damn funny with some of those comebacks.
But
it was entertainment. I couldn't look away. I could not look away.
It's good. It's good. Like, MVP killed it. Like, he's a legend. Nobody could compete with them. But I don't know if that was like, was that the thing for Big Bill and BK?
Afterwards, after the promo finished, my thought was, did they know he was gonna say all of that? Like, because I mean, I know everyone works their promos differently and everyone handles that stuff differently. And I think sometimes, like, you know, there's wrestlers that go through things verbatim, and then there are some that are just like, all right, I'm going to get this point across, you get this point across, and then let's go out there and do our thing, right? So I don't know what the preparation for that was, but it felt to me, it felt like MVP was just like off script. Like, he was just ripping.
Like, the way that Big Bill reacted, like you were saying, when he was stumbling a little bit, that's why I was like, oh, okay, because Big Bill's good. He can do promos. He's charismatic. Like, he's always on. He never gets caught off like this. That's why I was like, this is interesting. It was just a really interesting segment. And we didn't talk about the MJF and MVP.
Were you not entertained?
No, I'm not entertained, because people that I like
that
got buried.
But okay, it's not that they got buried. They just got.
You just said you want to see them. And you want to see them get beat up too. Like, what?
I'm sorry, but on the bright side, maybe this will be closer to the learning tree coming undone.
Okay.
I'm sorry. It was just that thing that I could not look away from.
He kept calling BK his girlfriend and a little bitch. I'm like, I don't.
Yeah, Bryan Keith should have like grabbed that mic and been
they gotta. Afterwards, they gotta jump MVP. They have to. Like, the next steps has to be next week. the Hurt Syndicate's like, where the hell is MVP? And they pull up, and that fool's bloody because they got to jump him after what happened. They got to get some comeuppance. It's the only way.
Yeah, they do. They got to do. And it's specifically, I think, got to be Bryan Keith.
Yes.
Because Bryan Keith took a lot of punching down from
Beat
MVP.
his ass. You got to fight him.
Oh, man. With that being said, it completely outshined the MVP MJF situation. All right, so MVP wants MJF to join the Hurt Syndicate, and it looks like MVP is interested. So, God damn it, I'm MVP, MJF, they're killing me here. All right, MJF looks like he's interested in MVP's offer. But with that being said, the person who's not interested is Bobby Lashley. He went out there and basically ruined the deal, at least for that moment. But later on, there was a portion where it seemed like maybe MVP talked some sense into Bobby Lashley as to why it would be good to have somebody like MJF that, even though he has kind of the reputation that he has, he's still somebody that could be beneficial to the group.
Yeah, I like this part a lot. I think because MJF was like, we've worked together. Like, this actually kind of makes a lot of sense. Like, it didn't even take time. Like, MVP got in the ring and MJF was like, yeah, let's do this, essentially. And so, like, it had came together so quickly that people are probably thinking, well, like you said, you're like, well, why wouldn't MVP consult Bobby Lashley before with the MJF stuff? Because Bobby Lashley immediately came in, ripped up the card, and he was mad about it. But I thought that MVP in the promo later was like, dude, I gave you guys time off. I let you guys rest. You guys have been doing a great job, but I'm still out here working. I'm still trying to gain people. I'm still trying to add people to the Hurt Syndicate. And you guys have been talking about this fourth member. I thought that MJF was great. And so they're just like kind of confused because MJF, if you look at MVP, Bobby Lashley, and Shelton Benjamin, and then MJF, one of these things is not like the other. So they're very confused. They're like, we had some people in mind, but it wasn't this guy. Like, I'm kind of confused about this whole thing. Thought that was a really good bit. They kind of teased Bobby Lashley and MJF with a little stare down, face off, this whole thing. So that could be interesting, right?
Yeah, I think so too. And I'm interested. Look, it's something different on the show. We'll see where this goes. But let's get into some of these super chats of what people are saying. Let's see, where are we at? We got Heidi Ho here who says rip to Thunder Tits gone too soon.
Yeah, we need more.
We got Ten Ruza here who says, you think MVP is annoyed with Bryan Keith? Big Bill is with Jericho. Didn't they already squash their beef? I think they squashed it already, right?
Yeah, I think they squashed this whole thing. I don't think there's anything to it. And that wouldn't be a way to get them over by burying them. Like, that doesn't help them.
Yeah, like what they do.
I keep saying burying, but like, I'm sure they'll be fine. But I'm just like, it was a lot.
Earlier, someone said they were roasted like rotisserie chicken.
Yeah, unfortunately.
All right, we got Arnold Nicholson Jr. who says, does MVP have real heat with Big Bill?
See, I'm saying, look at this. People are like, yeah, what's going on? MVP was going in, dog. That seemed extra. That's all I'm saying.
I just think that he was snappier. I think he was more quick thinking.
I guess that's the part where I'm like, did they say, hey, Big Bill, it's gonna be like a roast battle? Like, are you ready for this? And he was like, yeah, and he wasn't, or like, was he like, I'm gonna say my whole thing and MVP's gonna say anything? You don't know you're too good until you get in there with somebody who can really do it. You know what I mean? Like, you might be snapping with your people and people around you, but then you get into there with a real OG like MVP, and you're dead.
Exactly. All I'm going to say is this, is if MVP doesn't have a cameo, he should get a cameo because I'm ready to book MVP to do a roast on you, Reg.
I mean, I'm really not surprised. We've seen his social media presence. Like, he be frying dudes. Like, this is like,
yeah, but on social media, you don't know how much time it takes for someone to like think of something, think of a comeback.
His comebacks are fast. And don't get a cameo of MVP roast. I mean, that would be sad. I'd cry.
That's right, Reg. Reg is gonna get again heartbroken.
I'm sensitive.
He's sensitive. 100% gonna get you a cameo being roasted.
Come on.
All right, we got Grapple Geekery here who says red velvet is my favorite dessert, hands down. It's been my birthday cake of choice. Ring of Honor TV champion red velvet is also my favorite cakes as well. Oh, come on now.
We gotta hose y'all down.
Y'all are wild, man.
I like how you brought it home though, Grapple Geekery. That's hilarious.
Ten Rules also says MVP and Jericho having that history might be it. No, again, I think they squashed that beef.
Yeah, I don't think this is about that, but it also, I don't know. It could be. Who knows?
Hamburger Helper says, come Tuesday. Did you guys see Von Wagner?
I saw him out there. He was in the brawl with the big homie and Kyle Fletcher and all those guys. I was like, that's Von Wagner. Denise had ran away to stop her washing machine, but yeah, I saw him.
All right. We got Ted Russo who says, still hopeful for Cedric, for Hurt Syndicate or Brian Keith. Brian Keith at this point is out. He's not even an option.
I mean, what if that was just a way to kind of be like, that was like his initiation. That's how you jump him in. Like, I'm going to roast you and then we're going to be friends.
No, an initiation is like you make them do something that's like hard or embarrassing.
That wasn't embarrassing?
He didn't do anything, though. He was just standing there. No, an initiation, it's like, oh, you got to go and be locked in a room for 40 hours or something.
No, initiation is, I'm going to embarrass you on national TV. Let's see how you can handle it.
That's not an initiation.
You're initiated now. You got real embarrassed.
Ten Russo here says, that's bullying, my friend. That's not initiation.
That same shit with some of these frats and sororities.
Oh, hell no. I would never join a sorority. I've been hearing stories about that stuff. No, thanks.
Not
and
built
even
for
if
this.
they're not true, I don't want to find out if it's true or not.
Right.
Ten Russo says it's like Drake finding out K. Dot a foo.
A foo. That is what it's like, Ten Russo.
All right, with that being said, all right, let's keep it going. Kyle Fletcher defeated Brody King. This was a fun little matchup here. They kind of got very nasty here, very hard-hitting little bout there with Kyle Fletcher and Brody. How'd you feel about it?
I liked it a lot. I think that Brody King now being the big chop guy, all of his chops are ridiculous. He's just, his aesthetics, the entrance, he comes down with the jacket and the shiesty, like he just looks really cool. And then he gets into the match and he's like a 90s all Japan heavyweight, the way that he does power bombs and throws and pile drivers. There was one point where he lariated Kyle Fletcher and spun him inside out. One of the most devastating moves of the match, just that spot right there. And then the finish, Denise. Kyle Fletcher has been doing the El Generico top rope brainbuster. We've seen it a few times in different matches. We've seen it against smaller people that it seems a little bit easier to get those guys up there. There's a lot that could go on. They're up there fighting at the end of this match, and I'm like, it's coming. He's trying to do it. I'm like, please don't do this. Brody King's a big guy. Like, he's one of those meat guys. And so him coming down with all his weight on that is going to be different. And so at the end of the match, Kyle Fletcher sets him up, hits the top rope brainbuster, and it looks as scary as you would want. Brody King hits the top of the turnbuckle, and just a really dangerous spot. But yeah, Kyle Fletcher with the victory. Really fun match. I like that his trajectory is what it's been recently. Love that Mark Davis came down to help him at a bit, and they teased some Aussie Open working together because I want to see them in a tag match. And now that got to
they might do Powerhouse Hobbs and Brody King versus Aussie Open.
Which I'm like, look, that's lit. If they do that for Dynasty, like, yo, that's fire.
One-time thing, but let's keep Kyle Fletcher on his own.
Yeah, he can also be in a tag team. He's young.
I'm done having the same argument with you, Reg. All right, I'm done. I already said everything I needed to say last time.
Phooey.
All right, we got Corey MacArthur here who says, Reg, I need you to try the ultimate red velvet cheesecake from the Cheesecake Factory. My favorite. Yum. It will bless your life. Oh, Corey, I'm on a calorie diet.
Yeah, Denise can't have that. That one thing is like 2 days worth of calories, honestly. I'll definitely check it out. There's a Cheesecake Factory very close, and I love cheesecake, so.
I do feel snatched right now, though. I gotta tell you, like, I'm not bloated at all right now, which is a lovely feeling because bloating's an issue for me. So
I do feel snatched right now.
I do. I feel snatched right now.
Snatched.
Am I using the term right?
Denise is so snatched right now. I think so.
I'm using the term right, though, right?
Yeah,
snatched.
So.
Okay.
Like your waist, like your midsection.
Right, yeah, I feel skinny. Woo! Thank you, Corey.
That waist is snatched.
You got Ten Russo who says, need more Don Callis cosplayers, a fun dress up. Man, I seriously thought that was the guy trying to be MJF.
That was Don Callis, Denise. I told you.
All right, thank you, Tenruza. All right, let's keep it moving. Powerhouse Hobbs did defeat Mark Davis, by the way, so this kind of chimes into that conversation. That whole thing bled into the actual matchup there. Another really fun matchup with Hobbs and Mark Davis. And Mark Davis hit the Insiguri, but basically ran right into a spine buster, so Hobbs got the quick victory there.
Yeah, this was they piggybacked off the end of that match, kind of set up the what potentially could be a tag match. Big Homie made the save on Brody King. Had a really fun meat match with Mark Davis. I think that they teased it in the tag match last week, or at the trios match last week. And I think that just them going in there and throwing them things. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be anything. Just have these guys go in there and fight. Thought this was. Big victory for the big homie, Powerhouse Hobbs. Excited to see them out there. He looked giant. It was fun.
I love it.
Sure.
I'm so excited. I just want them to keep pushing Powerhouse Hobbs, honestly. But that being said, all right, rated FTR sit down interview. We're seeing some friction there with Adam Copeland
dissension.
and Cash Wheeler. I mean, sorry, Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler's trying to, patch things up, make sure all his friends are getting along.
Yeah.
Rated FTR's interview.
I think Dax is like, we need to, the bit that I liked about it was Dax is like, we're FTR. We've been kind of helping you still getting acclimated with AEW, even though you've been here for a while. We've been trying to help you on your journeys. And we kind of forgot about what our place is here. I've complained on this podcast many times that FTR still needs to, if they're not the tag team champions, they still need to be in the division. They still need to be there leading the way, helping the next person or whatever, being number one contenders. They need to be existing in the tag team space. And so for Cope to kind of be like, essentially it felt like, I don't know if he's showing heel vibes, but that interview kind of felt like, you should help me. It should be an honor for you to help me. Like, he was kind of giving off like a, yeah, dude, it's our we're doing this right now. Forget about that tag team thing. We're going to do this trios thing. And there's going to be some dissension. Dax is not going to take you trying to, get your thing off and not his. I like Cash being in the middle, being like, I just want my two friends to get along. We have such a great time together. What happened to your eyes there, right there?
I just realized something.
That was weird. Yeah, but I like Cash in the middle being like, I just want all my friends to get along. Can't they just love each other? One of them helped me with this. One of them helped me with this. We used to all eat pizza together, and we just don't do it anymore. I thought it was a pretty good bit.
Okay, I made the eyes. I made the bug eyes.
Like, what happened to your eyes? What's going on?
Why?
Here?
I'll tell you why. Because it's it looks like Adam Copeland's probably going to break off of FTR at some point. And Christian Cage is breaking up from the Patriarchy from the looks of it. That leaves them without some friends. This is all heading to the reunion.
There was a promo in the show with Nick Wayne, Mama Wayne, and Kip Sabian, and they were asking Nick, why was he saying that to Christian? Why is he talking crazy? And Nick Wayne is like, I want to say it to his face, but like, I think that we weren't running a tight ship. There's a reason he's not champion right now, because we should have done this. I think if Cope and Christian are losing all of their friends and everybody's kind of being like, we're not fucking with y'all right now, it only makes sense for them to come together. And if he's going to do the turn or whatever is going to happen off the backs of FTR, we already have that match immediately set up.
Yeah, exactly. See, I'm feeling that. All right. Now that I feel like I know which direction we're going in, I'm feeling a little better.
I like
it. All
it.
right. With that being said, we did get a quick match between Top Flight defeating Alex Finley and Davo Knight. Pretty much just like a quick little squash win for them, Top Flight. So yeah, good stuff there. All right, let's see. Will Ospreay wasn't there this week. He will be here next week. We got Kanushka Takeshita versus Mark Brisco. I thought this was match of the night. Yep. They absolutely killed it, man. This was so much fun. Takeshita gets the win. This was match of the night for me.
This is one of those TV matches. I think Takeshita is starting to, he's been locked in for a while, but he's starting to become the TV match guy, it feels like, in AEW, because he doesn't need a lot of time. Like, this wasn't the longest match you'll see. It wasn't a squash. It wasn't a short match either. Just a perfect amount of TV time. And I thought both guys are perfect in this. Mark Brisco is also great in this position of like, just go out there. You guys have a little bit of story. We telling some stories, but like, just go out there and have a great match. We'll give you 11 minutes or something like that. And we need you guys to hit all the beats. This was everything you would want from these two guys. Takeshita was trying to take his head off for a lot of it. He was just doing some insane bits in this. Mark Briscoe was like, let me throw my whole arsenal at this guy because he's been on a tear, and I know I'm going to need every single move that I've ever done to beat him. He hit him with the sick J Driller at one point, tried to hit him with the cutthroat driver, but Takeshita is just so mean and angry coming off the Kenny Omega stuff. He wants to get back into title contention, so it's going to be hard to beat him at this point. Super fun match of the night. These are the type of things we need every show, stuff like this.
Yeah, I feel you, man. This was just a reminder of like, hey, there's these guys that are not, champions or holding any bouts or aren't even in any really major big stories. They're still going out there and delivering though. So that's what's kind of a reminder for that. All right. And last but not least, we had 2 weeks in a row of the women main event. Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford defeated Toni Storm and Thunder Rosa, with Megan Bayne pinning Toni Storm. That really being a big moment considering that she's going to face her at Dynasty. And so I like that they did that. I like that they gave Megan Bayne the last 2 weeks, have made her look very, very strong, which is what they should be doing, because you just can't put Toni Storm in a pay-per-view match with just anybody. You got to build her challengers up.
Yeah, with how Toni Storm is and the fanfare, and people consider her one of the best wrestlers in the entire company, she needs viable contenders. She needs people that are going to believe in. Megan Bayne's so new and she's gaining that. She's going to be at that position. But there's some people in the crowd that maybe haven't bought in yet or don't know what Megan Bayne's about. And I think these last 2 weeks have really shown her getting over on Toni Storm, who feels like she's untouchable, she's invincible. Megan Bayne's like, I don't care about any of that shit. I don't care that you think you're the leader of this division. I don't care that you're the champion. I'm going to take that belt from you. And these are the things that I'm going to do. I'm going to hit you with an F5. I'm going to throw you all around the ring. I'm going to look dominant. Like, they really shown that Megan Bayne is one for you to look out for. They putting her in main events when she hasn't even been on TV for that long. Like, they're putting faith in her. Toni Storm has been playing great this whole time. Penelope and Thunder, I thought, were great in this match too. I'm just loving that they're continuously giving us women's main events. Want it to become a thing where we're not celebrating it just because it's every week at this point,
Yeah, I should feel more like a norm. We got Ted Ruza here who says Reg's gonna have a Henny for tonight. Mixer recommendations.
I drink my Henny.
Gonna have a Henny for you tonight.
Yeah, I drink my Henny on the rock straight. But there's been some people like apple juice. That one's a little too sweet for me. Maybe just like some Coca-Cola. I don't know. I don't mix mine. I just straight because I'm a OG.
I saw you chugging that fucking Henny and the potato chips. It was Henny.
Put it on some ice.
Break. No, I would say you drink the Henny, get the potato chips, and then you disappear. You were gone. And then you'd come back. You disappear again with the Henny, with the potato chips, and gone.
And with really red eyes, because you can't do that stuff in Will Washington's house, you guys.
Ted Ruza, thank you for the super chat. All right, let's see what we got here. Next week for Dynamite, Jon Moxley and Marina Shafir versus Swerve Strickland and Willow Nightingale. And Will Ospreay will return. That's happening next week. This Saturday for Collision, Jay White versus Kevin Knight. Mercedes Moné will be in action. Jamie Hayter versus Queen Aminata. That means that her visa stuff is cleared. Big Bill and Brian Keith versus Top Flight. And Wheeler Yuta versus Dax Harwood. That is where we're at with the upcoming shows. And next week's show will be the go home into AEW Dynasty. So hopefully a hot show for next week. But that, ladies and gents, was AEW Dynamite coverage for us here today. Thank you so much to everybody who tunes in each and every single week for the review, for the watch along, all of that. I want to let you guys all know that I'm posting daily content here on YouTube. So please check out the videos every single day. There's a new video going up. I did an in-depth video today on Soraya's time in AEW now that she's done. Also talks to Mina Shirakawa. That is up there on the channel. So I'm kind of doing 2 formats now where you get daily videos that are a little bit more shorter in length, and then you get your podcast videos, which are obviously a little bit longer since they're podcasts. So a little bit of everything happening here on the channel. And then tomorrow I will be streaming WWE 2K25. Oh shit, that's right, fudge, I forgot I was doing that. I had a whole plan and everything. And I forgot to promote that. Anyways, that's happening. So I'll probably post about it right now in the DWO community. But anyways, Reg, what do you got going on?
This week, Ask Grapsody is tomorrow. Regular Grapsody is Saturday. And that's it. It's just a regular week for me. Appreciate everybody for being here. Thanks for sticking with us through this whole podcast. Thanks for everybody for supporting. Y'all are just so cool every week to get us to come and have fun doing this. I appreciate y'all.
Heidi Ho also sends in a super chat saying Henny on the rocks for sure, but if you must have a mixer, go with cranberry juice.
Henny and cranberry juice. I haven't tried that.
Good selection. Thank you so much, Heidi Ho. Alrighty, everyone. That's it for us here today. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Catch you on the next one. Bye, everyone.